Our next speaker. The next one is Building Bridges Instead of Silos, Leaders' Roles in Enabling a Cross-Platform Future. And your speaker is Celine Pasula, Ubisoft RedLynx.
Good afternoon, everyone. Of course, super happy to be here at the PTC London today. Sorry, my voice is a tiny bit low today, so I had a tiny bit flu last week, but I hope you can hear me well. So just to get started, so I want to say that I'm really thrilled to be here today to see a lot of you like passionate game developers like myself. So really amazing. And also I'm really excited about the energy I have been feeling today in this event. Really nice to see people are excited and talking about the relevant things. So also, of course, huge congratulations for the organizers for actually making this event happen once again. So one of my favorite events for sure. But let's continue the topic itself. But before we go to it, I would like to do a tiny introduction about myself, because as a mission, as a leader, I see it's important that we actually know a bit who's talking about the things, and that's a way to really build the trust. But I won't dive too deep into it, but some basic things. It also sets the ground for the topic I'm talking about, because I think that also helps you to understand through my background. So before I joined the world of PC and console games, I was fully working on the mobile side for 15 years. Focus on the early days of the mobile, which was quite different back then, what it is today. So that was before the Apple had an app store, or before actually we had the whole free-to-play model. So it has been constant change ever since, and I think that's how it's going to look like also in the future. But I'm also quite excited and about the industry, what I saw back then and what I see even more today. The way we are able to actually reach the audiences, the big audiences all over the world, and connecting them and really creating these amazing experiences, because that's all about what we want to build here. And also like how games are really important piece of entertainment for many. Also from the production side, of course, I have seen many different companies. So I have seen the companies from the startup phase, that was 8 years of my life, then going to be part of the wider organization and running a private company, which I think has prepared me really well for my current role as a managing director for Ubisoft RedLynx. What has been really excited is, of course, 15 years of mobile. Now I get to work with the PC and console development also, which is really great to have all that under the same roof. So my mission today here is actually more to bring in all these fields together and making sure that they actually work together, and we break all the silos between the teams and each individual. It's really about unlocking the full potential of our teams, and I have to say I'm quite excited, more than ever actually, what I see happening. So that's about myself and my background, but why are we here today? I don't mean, of course, today in London, but enjoying this wonderful event, but industry in general. And I'm talking about the purpose, why we do this, why are we working in the gaming industry. If I went around this room, I'm sure I would get quite many different answers. For many of you, it might be about passion for games, being able to create really amazing experiences for our players, but also innovation and creativity. And then, of course, the amazing talent that we get to work with all over the world. And then really creating those communities around the players and making sure that they connect with the people that maybe they wouldn't otherwise connect with. And it doesn't matter what is the genre or the platform. It doesn't matter is it the first-person shooters, action RPGs, or simulators, or puzzles, or the tech behind that makes it all happen. I think it's all about like us being able to create those impactful experiences for our players across the globe, of course, and connecting those people. In a way, it's more like bringing more joy to the people wherever they are. So I believe that my purpose here comes to that, just to be a source of joy and really being able to create these amazing experiences for the players throughout our phones, computers, or consoles. It's not the point, but this is where the cross-platform really comes along. And this is going to be the session, all about the session today. How we actually lead the change and make sure that there's a purpose and how is it connected with the vision. I'm approaching this today through the 3 different topics, 3 different points actually. So first one is all about breaking silos around the experience itself. So really the opportunities to cross-platform as a barrier breaker. Number 2, breaking silos around the guiding vision. Making sure that we are having clear vision and strategy, and us as a leader supporting that and making sure that all the disciplines and teams are actually collaborating together. Then number 3, breaking silos around the teamwork, learning and innovation. So how do we actually make it happen in a daily work at our studios? So let's dive into the first one. I think the first question is that if you think about the cross-platform, I'm pretty sure all of us has quite different view on it, and I need to explain a bit my view. So how I see the gaming industry is constantly evolving, and we know we need to stay ahead of the curve. And I'm sure this is familiar to you all. But I think this is also what makes it super interesting. We all have our facts and views, but how could we make sure that we collaborate on the basis of these all views? And that's about, of course, that we value that diversity on the views and respect that. But when we discuss the day-to-day experiences with the game, we might often talk about the crossplay or ensuring our progression follows one platform to another one. Or then the devices itself. We might talk about which platforms game is available on and so on. And as we know, we recently are getting really nice experience on the mobile also, which are AAA level, and that's really exciting development for sure. And of course, the tech all behind it to making it all happen is critical. And suddenly, we are actually able to reach the new audiences again. And when looking at the cross-platform as a bigger phenomenon in the industry, it's not just about the devices itself actually. And this is where our views might get tiny bit diverse from each other. I really think the big picture is about embracing the diversity in a player preferences, styles and experiences. And it's all about how we can bring more joy for those players. And also reach the audiences that we haven't reached before. And then, of course, overall, how we approach and people are able to connect with the certain games when they actually become more available throughout different devices. And again, of course, we need the tech to empower all that. And I think it also empowers people to connect over the different devices and turn the widening communities forming around the experiences created by our industry. As we know, there are silos within the gaming industry as well. And perhaps by breaking down those barriers, we can be a bit more united than before, actually. What's encouraging, though, is the numbers we are actually seeing on the crossplay and cross-platform. Studies actually suggest that increasing number of players already mix different platforms, mobile, PC, and console, all of them. And I think this is really a solid foundation to build into. But I really think the key is also to really understand the audience we are going after and how we support that as an industry itself. Then the second one, cross-platform leadership. I think there's multiple ways to view cross-platform and its different elements. Some may approach it from technical point of view, some underlining the social aspect of the game, which is all really critical. And then impact quite a lot how we are able to grasp the opportunities as the developers also. We are often as diverse in opinions as we are as a people. But if our teams don't share the same foundation or the vision, how we do this, and how do we actually expect to work all together? When I say cross-platform gaming provides even more diverse audiences and players around the world, the opportunities to enjoy our experience no matter what is the device. And that throughout cross-platform, we can ensure we are where the players are actually. But then following more work, ensuring experiences and quality are up to par, what they are expecting. Some may not look at this from the same point of view. And this is once again something we should celebrate as leaders, to have that diversity of view. And we know about the diversity. It really requires more effort to actually make that happen. And this is where we need more communication. And something I really hope you all actually take away from this session, while we actually may think that we have different purposes and we have different systems for creating meanings for things, we should all work towards the same shared vision. This means that we should be celebrating our differences, but not really allowing it that turn against each other into silos, which is all what we have to break. And this is all on the leaders. This is our job, to making sure that we actually work together and we keep breaking those silos. And then the third point, psychological work safety as a base. So how do we actually make this happen? What I have personally seen during my time in the industry is that traditionally, the different side of cross-platform, PC, console, and mobile have been very separate from each other. And the challenge truly is to find the middle ground, bringing all the best side of these worlds and making sure that they work together. And this is, I think it's clear to all, creating the environment that supports cross-platform development requires collaboration on a whole new level, and making sure that actually those silos are broken. It's not just about developers working together. It's about fostering the culture where ideas, expertise, learnings, and innovation flow freely across the discipline. A leader's role is to really ensure that our teams are led by this shared vision and are able to push the boundaries above the current norms. And we know where there are new opportunities to grab, there's also a lot of challenges to face as well. And one of these challenges is definitely just this, developing our teams, but still keeping our players at the heart of our effort and focusing there. It doesn't matter how much we develop or what platforms we are able to provide the experiences on. If this is not what the players actually truly want, or the experience isn't actually tailored for them, these challenges are something we should see as possibilities to test, learn, and innovate as a team. But really making sure this is possible, we need to make sure that people feel safe. I always refer to biology at this stage, as it explains quite a lot how we act and think also at work. In many fields, you talk about work safety, which is quite basic. Some have lately started talking also about the psychological safety. For me, I really would like to take it a step further. For our industry, I think it comes down to psychological work safety. Since the environment we are working at, it's quite different when we talk about the work environment, as the context is very different. Work environment are not the same as an element of our other parts of our life. This is something we need to understand in order to foster the working environments where people feel psychologically safe. And they are able to really make those tough decisions and really make sure that they are actually learning from what they are doing. As we want our people to race for the cross-platform future, they really need to feel that psychological safety. Building a cross-platform future requires psychological safety net, allowing individuals to try up, speak up, succeed diverse opinions, and collaborate across disciplines. And this is where the leaders' main priority should be for all the companies. And if you really think about it, I would challenge the way we think about the organizations as well. Because how easy it is to promote cross-platform learnings and sharings between the disciplines if your organization is only focused on PC or console or mobile. Perhaps in the future we want to really think about how we are building the future, the teams from the beginning in the future. So the main learnings, what I have seen is first, of course, breaking silence around the experience itself. It's worth it, whether we're talking about PC, console, and mobile. There's so many great experiences we have created as an industry. So why shouldn't we aim for the one step higher, actually? And ensure even more people get to enjoy the experiences that we are creating, no matter what is the devices they might have hold on to. And I think this is actually quite an inspiring call, but not so easy to make it actually happen. So breaking silos are the vision also. Now that we are hopefully all inspired, the teams are really excited about this. But how do we actually make sure that other teams and people are also excited? How do we make sure that we empower them and they are actually able to work towards the shared goals? It's important to understand that to be able to do this, everyone must have the same understanding the way we are moving forward. So as a leaders, I would say 3 words: communicate, communicate, and communicate once more. Only by providing enough vision and actionable guidance towards the shared goal, I think we can actually make it happen. And this is, I think, a concrete way to even hoping to realize how to build a truly cross-platform future. Then number 3, breaking silos around the teamwork, learning, and innovation. Now that everybody are hopefully inspired and actually have a common understanding of the shared goal, how does it look every day in action? One of my key learnings is that shift will not likely happen overnight. You have to really make your effort and make sure that communication is truly happening. The power of cross-platform teams can only grow on the whole healthy foundation of the psychological safety in our teams, and that psychological work safety, what we want to focus on. Because without it, we can't even hope to see the new ideas from the people and really this out-of-the-box thinking. It also takes leadership to actually move this vision to the practicalities. So you need to be prepared to do the work. And of course, not to be afraid to test, either fail or succeed, and learn from it. And making sure you don't do the same mistakes again. And I think if we are able to take this mindset and as a separate entities without a shared industry, to embody that cross-platform mindset and really keep breaking those silos between all these platforms, I think we are well on our way towards the more connected future than ever before. So thank you. If you had any questions, happy to answer.
Do we have any questions?